upright row exercise. For this exercise, I'm again going to be using a kettlebell, but you can use some shopping bags, or if you've got dumbbells at home, you can use that holding one in each hand. So for this exercise, I'm going to demonstrate the first 5, and then I want you to carry on for 2 minutes. So find a weight that you feel like you can do this comfortably for 2 minutes for. So what we're going to do here is we're going to row upwards, lifting the weight up, and then slowly back down again. So coming up, and then back down again, coming up, and then back down again, and up, and then back down again. So now we're going to move on to the deadlift exercise. Now for this exercise, I'm going to be using a kettlebell, which is the weight you see in front of me. Something you might not have at home, but at home you can use either a shopping bag or a rucksack with some weight in it. It doesn't have to be too heavy, just to add a little bit of resistance to it. So what I'm going to get you to do, stand up, feet shoulder width apart, feet nice and sort of relaxed facing forwards. And what we're going to do is we're going to come down to pick up the weight. Now what I want you to focus on is a lot of that bend to be coming from your hips and your knees. So coming forwards, and as you come up, I want you to push through your thighs and through your buttock muscles, and then extending through your back. So coming up and down. So I'm going to demonstrate 5 of these exercises, but pick a weight that you feel like you can comfortably do this for the 2 minutes.
So next up, we're going to be doing a sit to stand. We're going to begin performing this exercise for 2 minutes, and I'll demonstrate a few of these for you so you can get an idea of what the movement is that you need to perform. So we're going to start by sitting on a chair. We're going to shuffle our bottom towards the edge of the chair with our feet about hip distance apart. Crossing the arms across the chest or bringing them straight out in front of you, you're going to squeeze up through your bottom muscles, leaning forwards, coming up into a standing position. We're then going to slowly lower your bottom back down to sit in the chair. Okay. We're going to repeat these nice and slowly for the full 2 minutes. While you're doing this movement, you want to think about keeping your knees pushed out wide over your toes and not allowing the knees to collapse in as we come up and down.
So now we're going to be moving on to a step up. Similar to the wall squat, this is going to really help to work your thighs and your bottom muscles. Now I'm going to talk you through the technique, and again we're going to be doing this for 2 minutes, but what I want to make sure that you're doing is alternating from one leg to the other. So every 10 repetitions, go across to the other leg and switch legs. Now I'm going to demonstrate the first 5 on each leg, and then you can carry on. So starting off, stepping up towards a normal height step. Going to get you to put your foot up onto the step, push through your thigh, and then come back down again. Stepping up, and back down again. Try your best not to slam this foot down as quickly as possible, so you're really controlling the movement through that leg that's lifting up. And then moving on to the other leg. Now if you need to hold onto a handrail for support, you can, but try your best to make sure that you're pushing off as much as you can through that leading leg. So now we're going to move on to some side bends. Now you can do this with or without weights. For this exercise I'm going to demonstrate it holding onto some dumbbells, but if you want to weight it up and you don't have any dumbbells at home, you can use some bottles of water, some shopping bags or some food tins. So this exercise we're going to be doing for 2 minutes like all of the others, but what I'm going to do is demonstrate the first 10. So what I want you to do is tilt towards one side and then tilt towards the other side. Now it's really important with this exercise that you're not excessively leaning forwards or backwards whilst doing it, and most of the movement is coming from the sideways movement through your back. So making sure you're keeping those tummy muscles nice and engaged, keeping yourself nice and steady and not moving too far forwards or backwards. Okay, now we're going to move on to the alternate shoulder press. So for this exercise, again, it'd be quite useful to have some weights. If you've got some dumbbells at home, then brilliant. If not, you can use a bottle of water, some tins of food, or some shopping bags. So what I'm going to get you to do now is get you to bring your the weights up towards your shoulders, and then you're going to press up, and then you're going to alternate with the other shoulder. So coming up and then pressing back again. So I'm going to show 5 on each side, but I want you to pick a weight that you can comfortably do this for 2 minutes, and just slowly alternating from one side to another.
Now we're going to begin with the thoracic TheraBand rotations. So firstly, you're going to place the band in between a banister or anything that can hold it up. You're going to grab 2 ends of the band and you're going to face the TheraBand. Feel free to pick whichever colour you like, depending on how strong you want, how much tension you would like the band to have. What you're going to do first is you're just going to twist your upper body to one side, about 90 degrees, and then coming back to your starting position. Avoid twisting your hips, avoid twisting your foot. Make sure they're always staying put and not moving. And you're going to twist back to the other direction, to your left, and coming back. I'm going to continue a couple more repetitions, but you're going to be doing this exercise for 2 minutes long. What you should feel is sort of a strain down the middle of your back, and you should not feel it over the lower back or your hips. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can hold it for about 5 seconds and coming back to the starting position.
So next up, I'm going to be demonstrating a lunge. This is a movement that's really good for strengthening your thigh muscles, your bottom muscles, and also down the backs of the thigh as well. So we're going to start by coming into a split stance. So this is where one leg is stepped out in front of the other, and the other leg is as far back as you can get with the heel off the floor. You can do this with or without weights, that's completely your choice. If you don't have dumbbells, you can use shopping bags, bottles of water, or tins of beans. So we're going to slowly think about lowering that back knee down towards the floor, and then slowly back up again. Again, we can either perform 10 on each leg for your designated amount of time, 2 minutes, or we can think about alternating the legs between movement. Stepping back, lowering that back knee towards the floor, and then slowly lifting back up. If this is uncomfortable for you, we can think about performing a partial squat, so coming halfway down through the movement and then back up again.
I'm going to be demonstrating 2 exercises that's really nice for your back, just general stretches really. So first, find yourself a place where you can lie down. If you find it difficult to lie on the floor, feel free to do it on the bed or a couch. So you're going to lie nicely on your back. Keep your back just neutral, so don't overarch or don't try to over tilt your pelvis. Just keep it nice and natural. The first one is a knee hugs. So there's 2 options for you. You can hug 1 at a time or 2 at a time. So let's do 1 at a time first. So basically bringing your knee to your chest. Try not to hold on to it, so use your hip muscles and your abdominal muscles to sort of crunch and pull your knee towards your chest. If you can't, feel free to just place your hands underneath your thigh and pull it further in, and hold it for about 5 seconds and release back down gently on the floor, and repeat again over the other side. If you're having some knee pain, just relax your knee. You don't have to bend your knee and bring it close. You bring your shin close to your thigh. Just keep it relaxed and back down. If you want a bit of more of a challenge, you can bring 2 knees to your chest, so like so, and you will feel a very nice stretch down your back. You can hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds and lower back down to the floor. And that's your knee hugs. And you can repeat it for about 2 minutes, or if you're tired, feel free to take a break. The second exercise is knee roll side to side. So position your feet about hip width apart and make sure that your foot's about 1 foot away from your bum cheeks. Hands relaxed on the mat, and you're just going to roll your knees down to one side. If you want a further stretch, you can place your hands out to the side and rotate your neck to the other side to feel a stretch down your back. You can hold it for about 5 seconds and then twisting over to the other side. Don't worry if your knee can't reach the floor, that's absolutely fine. As long as you feel a stretch down your back, you're doing the right thing. And relax and don't forget to breathe. Next exercise, we'll be doing a hip bridge, or the London bridge if you like. So, we're going to lie on your back. Okay, make sure your back's nice and flat. Don't over arch or over tilt your pelvis. Keep it nice and relaxed. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your hands just gently placed on the mat. If you find this particular exercise difficult on the floor, feel free to do it on the couch or the bed. Now you're going to position your feet about hip width apart and just maybe 1 to 2 foot away from your bum. What you're going to do, you're going to lift your bum off the bed up to the air and sort of create a straight line between your shoulder, hip and knee, and gently lower it back down. A couple of things to note: make sure you're not overarching your back and back down. You can squeeze your bum muscles as you come up, so we're targeting the right muscles, engaging your abdominals as well. And lastly, remember to sort of peel every segment if you can, and tilting your pelvis as you come up and squeezing your back of your thighs and your bum, and slowly lower it back down. If you want a bit of a challenge, you can always hold it at that position for about 5 to 10 seconds and slowly lower it back down.
So our next exercise is a pelvic tilt. We're going to do this for a couple of minutes. It should feel nice and relaxing to perform. Only go through your comfortable range. You don't have to push right the way through any painful bits. So we're going to start by sitting on a chair with our feet flat to the floor. And our first starting position, we're going to slump down. So I want you to think about your tailbone curling underneath you into a slumped position where our back is slightly rounded. We're then going to reverse that position, bringing the back into an arched position. So rolling through those 2 positions, rounding as we come down, tucking the tailbone underneath, and then lifting up and arching. If you're struggling with this a little bit, you can imagine that your pelvis is like a cup of water. As we're lifting up and arching, we're tipping the water out the front of that cup, and as we're rolling back and under, we're trying to tip the water out the back of the cup.